What's up, YouTube? Trombone King here. How's your day been? Hope you're having a good one. Rwby Win has run into a bit of a predicament. I completed episodes 6 and 7, uploaded them, and they were immediately blocked due to a copyright claim from Rooster Teeth. The claim stated certain time codes that were apparently too long. I was showing too much of the show uninterrupted, so that's why they got blocked, and that's fine. I'm good with that. So I took out the offending clips, re-uploaded the episodes, and what do you know, they still got blocked, except now the claim is based on different time codes that weren't mentioned the first time, so I'm punting, I'm giving up. So what I'm going to do right here, since Rwby Win has always been this kind of Cliff Notes commentary thing, I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes of the Cliff Notes, just hitting the highlights of what I would have discussed from volumes 2 and 3. It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, and it's going to make very little sense whatsoever. So, one last time, let's get started! In Tuxon's shop, Emerald mentions the Third Crusade. My theory is that this is either some kind of code word used by the White Fang, or a reference to a part of Remnant's history that somehow relates to the villain's master plan. I predict that at some point we will see a parallel moment to the food fight scene, where Rwby is holding a heavily injured wife screaming, "Don't leave me!" I also find that choice of words interesting, since Rwby lost her mother at an early age. Since the creative team has no problem turning funny moments into super sad ones, example given, Rocket Locker, I wouldn't be surprised if this moment comes back to haunt us. I've seen two pretty good theories as to who Emerald is based on, Aladdin and Cleopatra. Aladdin makes sense to me with the whole master thief street rat thing, but Cleopatra fits with her design and hairstyle. My theory is that Emerald, like some other characters, is based on a combination of fairy tales. When Cinder tells Roman, he'll know what he needs when he needs to know. Her eyes, clothes, and earrings all glow. Now, these could all be explained by saying, that she already has part of the maiden power, and she fuses dust with her clothing, as Ironwood mentions in Chapter 8. But I really hope that she has fused dust with her body, as discussed in the World of Remnant episode. I want to know what kind of benefits and dangers this method might involve. Ozpin's office is featured in the Volume 2 opening. Now, remember, I don't trust Ozpin a whole lot, and one of those reasons is this. His logo and his office are made of gears. And what are gears except wheels within wheels? Huh? See what I did there? Anyway, his motivations run much deeper than they appear. So, I was wrong about the tear in the Volume 1 opening, but I'm still fairly certain that Cinder has a tragic past. Look back at her shot in the Volume 2 opening. She's sitting on a railing, watching an airship fly away. I think that this scene we are witnessing is Cinder being abandoned, possibly left for dead. I also think it's interesting that the architecture of the scene very closely matches the railing from the transient princess picture Monty created. What does it mean? I have no idea. This is one for my wish list. There are so many characters and relationships that I want to hear more about, and Glinda and Ironwood are no exception. She very clearly still cares for him, but their lives have taken them in very different directions. Can't wait to see where the story takes them. When you have the time, go back and watch the Ozpin Blake interrogation scene. Notice how Ozpin changes his tone when he starts talking about being a huntsman, sworn to protect the world. Remember, he had his cane right there. I think that if Blake had presented herself as a threat, he was prepared to take her out right there if the situation demanded it. Yeah, I really don't trust Ozpin. Can't you tell? Most of this video is going to cover theories and predictions, but I did want to mention one collection of Easter eggs. The dumpster that Penny throws Rwby into has graffiti featuring Gus from the Rooster Teeth Animated Adventures, SMG for the slow-mo guys, the lightning bolt logo from Captain Dynamic, and a crude drawing of the Gauntlet trophy. I'm not entirely sure how Neo's semblance works. It's certainly based on reflection, but other than that, I really don't have any ideas. Let me know in the comment section what you think. And another thing, in the song Sacrifice, there's a lyric that goes, "Truth will rise, revealed by mirrored eyes." Is this a reference to Neo? Maybe Rwby? I don't know. I'm just going to have fun figuring it out. I don't think Cinder's list from Chapter 5 has been addressed yet. My theory as to what this list is all about, if you listen to the end credit song Sacrifice, there are some lines like, "Sow the death and reap the seed. Even with the lives you stole, still no closer to your goal." It sounds to me like Cinder and company are trying to steal or collect life energy or aura so they can create or unlock something, possibly related to the moon. With this scene, Pyrrha has been identified as a prime candidate for sacrifice. Okay, a little headcanon prediction here. I think that semblances present themselves when the individual is experiencing a great deal of emotional stress, kind of like mutant powers in X-Men. My theory is that when Ruby heard the news that Summer was gone, she ran out of the house and never stopped. She kept running and running until eventually her semblance activated and she found herself moving faster than she ever imagined. And I'm willing to bet Crow was the one to find her, console her, and bring her home. So, when Yang said that Raven was on a team together with Summer and Crow, I'm pretty sure we all freaked out quite a bit. Team Stark's backstory needs to be told. One member is dead, another has run away, another is an alcoholic, and the other is a single dad trying to pick up the pieces of his life. What happened? Was it Yang and Raven being together that started the downward spiral for the team? Is that why there's so much animosity between Yang and Crow? I'm looking forward to finally hearing their story. We seem to be in a Harry Potter type situation where the choices of one generation are having major influences on another. I'll go ahead and add this to the wish list. I want to know how the house that Yang went to connects to the story. It's possibly where Yang and Raven met, or a hideout that Team Stark used. I really don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. So, in Yang's account, she mentions that as luck would have it, their uncle was there to save them. Sorry, honey, but this was more than luck. He was probably in bird form following them the entire time. I will also mention this again. I'm not fully convinced that Yang is Ruby's father. Watch how Crow and Ruby interact. Yes, it's very possible that Crow is just the cool, loving, drunk uncle, but he seems to take a special interest in training and caring for Ruby. I don't think Crow was trying to save his nieces here. I think he was protecting his daughter. I know, it's crazy, right? But guess what? This is my show, and I can say what I want. In Ozpin's speech to the first years in Volume 2, he uses a curious phrase. He says that we fought for many reasons. We, not they, we fought. Now, he might just mean we as in we, the collective nations of the world, but that's boring, and this video is for stupid, crazy theories. I think Ozpin was there. I think Ozpin fought in the Great War, and it doesn't matter if he's a time traveler or this universe's version of Father Time. Either way, it's possible that he witnessed the destruction of the Great War firsthand. Maybe this is a part of the experience the rest of us lack that Glinda was referring to, or his whole made more mistakes than any man, woman, or child thing. Everyone else has already said this, so I'll just join in. I think the village that Ren and Nora wanted to go to is somehow tied to their past. Maybe we will finally get an explanation as to how they ended up without parents. There are some people that have come up with the theory that Yatsuhashi is the White Fang Lieutenant, or Chainsaw Guy as I like to call him. Where do I stand on that? I think it's about 30% possible. I think it's convenient that Yatsu's armor covers where the lieutenant's tattoo would be, and the lieutenant's face is yet to be seen. It's still a pretty crazy theory, but I like it anyway. As far as Raven is concerned, I do think she is connected to the villains in some way. The portal she used to get in and out of the train seems to be made of the same energy that appeared when Cinder was using Soul Steel on Amber. Also, her mask kind of sort of resembles Salem's face in a way. Maybe, not really. Whatever, we'll see. And another thing, this is probably nothing, but the fact that Neo, Raven, and Coco all had the same necklace, it still irritates me. It's one of two things. Either they are all part of some secret order, or Rooster Teeth was just reusing assets. A lot. I want it to be a thing, it probably isn't. My theory is that the Volume 2 post-credit scene is simply a dream, not a vision of the future. There isn't really a whole lot of information for us to say anything more than that. I was going to wait and leave this as a comment when I upload my reaction to the Volume 4 character short, but I just noticed this, and I'm freaking out. Look at the design of the arena floor before it transforms. You'll get a good shot at the end of Volume 3, Chapter 1. Now, look at the window from the church that Ruby breaks out of from the character short. They are not identical, but there are a lot of similarities. Now, I'm going to take it one step further. Check out the symbol that is hanging on the wall behind the pods in the secret vault from Chapter 6. There's a good shot at about 10:20. It's in the upper right-hand corner. I don't know what this means. I think this symbol has something to do with the maidens, which is why it was in the vault. I think the church, from the character short, is where some of the people are still worshipping the maidens, which would make that statue that Ruby crushes a statue of a maiden. And I think the arena floor's similarities are due to the legend of the maidens permeating Remnant's history and culture. Okay, that was a mouthful. Here's another wish list item. I hope that CL Soleil was not a one-off character. As Penny's teammate and basically her handler from Atlas, I'd like to see how she reacted to Penny's destruction. She would also be useful as a different set of eyes to introduce the audience to the kingdom of Atlas. Okay, I've seen the first half of this theory posted before, but I'll go ahead and reiterate this first bit. The story of the four maidens, as it has been told to us, is a lie. Or, to be more accurate, we have not been told the entire truth. As to what that truth is, well, that's where we get into really, really crazy prediction territory, so bear with me. Now, Miles and Carrie have already denied this, but Salem's design looks a lot like the Winter Maiden we see in the fairy tale. I think the writers are lying. I believe that Salem is the original Winter Maiden. So how does this fit together with the story? I think things went down like this. We know that the Winter Maiden was the eldest sister from the World of Remnant episode. I think that one of the younger sisters, most likely the Fall Maiden, took her powers and went on a mission that was too big for her to take alone. The youngest sister dies, and now the oldest sister blames the man responsible for giving her those powers in the first place, the old wizard, Ozpin. It would explain why Salem described him as arrogant to Cinder. It would explain why she wants to destroy everything he's built. And a need for personal vengeance for the loss of a sibling would certainly be strong enough to fuel a rivalry that's lasted for centuries. I'm probably wrong, but that's how I see it. Okay, so here's a couple theories I had before Volume 3 ended. When Glinda mentioned the rules about when a maiden dies, I knew that rule was going to be abused somehow. My theories at that point were either A, Cinder would get the powers, say something like, "My queen, I have fulfilled my duty," and then kill herself so that the powers would go on to her master, or B, Pyrrha would get her powers, Cinder would come within a second of killing her, but right before her last hit struck, Pyrrha would yell, "Ruby!" and the powers would transfer to her, and then Ruby would unleash some mystical hellfire on Cinder. I was kinda close on the second one. When Ironwood talks about making significant strides in studying aura, I'm pretty sure that is a reference to Penny. Perhaps Penny had the aura of the child of her creator, Dr. Geppetto or Dr. Light, or whoever he is. And while I'm on the subject of stuff Ironwood said, sometimes you see things that simply aren't there, even after the fight has passed. To me, it sounds like he is remembering something from his own life. There is no doubt that as a general, he has had to make some difficult decisions, and maybe the consequences of those decisions still haunt him. Maybe by discussing his past, we will find out how he ended up as a cyborg. He would have to sustain massive injuries. So how did he end up like that? What was he fighting? As far as the Grim Dragon goes, and yes, I do call it a dragon. His name is Kevin, or Glenn. I like that one too. The thing that jumps out at me is Glinda's reaction when she feels the ground shake. It's as if she knows what's about to happen. Was this Grim just too powerful for the Huntsman to destroy, and so their best solution was to seal it up in a mountain? I really don't know. I hope that the dragon isn't just there to say, "Oh, hey, look, there's a dragon." I want this to be a key element in the backstory. I have a theory on the Grimm. It isn't fleshed out. I'm still trying to figure out how to support it. Think back to the world of Remnant on Grimm. Ancient cultures believed Grimm to be animals possessed by evil spirits or the spirits of tortured animals. Now, remember, what Crow said about legends and fairy tales, even the craziest ones, come from somewhere. What if, in the Rwby universe, when you die, you become a Grimm, with your soul or aura trapped in the body of a monster? Again, I'm not sure how to support this idea, but it would be very interesting, and it would provide a way for us to see Grimm versions of Roman and Pyrrha. I've enjoyed seeing some of those fan art ideas. As the aura transfer process begins, Ozpin says, "I'm so sorry." But notice, he's not talking to Jean. He looks to his right, then turns to his left when he says, "I'm so sorry." So he isn't talking to Pyrrha. He is apologizing to Amber. Why? Well, I think it's because he's the old wizard. His choice to give power to the maidens is what has led to this moment. his decision to give away the powers has led to a tortured existence for Amber. At least, that's what I think. Now, while I've spent the majority of this video talking about predictions, I do want to address one bit of commentary. In Volume 3, Chapter 11, things are not looking good. Penny is dead, Roman is dead, Grim and Whitefang are everywhere, but even in this moment, the good guys still have a plan. I mean, yeah, Pyrrha might lose her individuality, but the good guys still have a chance to win. This is still a show where the good guys always find a way to come out on top. And then Cinder shoots Amber. The next 90 seconds display a stunning shift in tone. We see Amber die. We see Blake get stabbed. We see Yang lose an arm. Cinder gets the powers. Jean gets knocked back. I thought he was going to get lit on fire. And then we all had that half-second moment where we thought, oh shit, Blake just got decapitated. In 90 seconds, we go from everything can still be fine, we can work this out, this is still a show where nothing super serious happens, to, oh my god, did they just kill a main character? That is one of the most impressive moments of the series for me. I think it was Mark Donica from the Rwby AfterBuzz who said it, and I agree. The green sphere that Ozpin generates looks very similar to the time travel method from Terminator. I don't think he was going for an attack. I think he was making a time jump. And that's where he is right now. He's traveling to some point in the future. We just haven't caught up with him yet. When Pyrrha kissed Jean, while everyone else was cheering, I was weeping. Because I knew from that moment she was doomed to die. Why? Because I'd watched Gurren Lagann, which is one of Monty's favorite anime. And let's just say that one character kissing another and then heading out to battle, it doesn't end well. And now for our psychology lesson for today, the 5 stages of grief. The first stage is denial. No, Pyrrha was not teleported. She's dead. Incinerated. She's gone. Come to grips with that. You're on your way to healing. And one more quick commentary moment, having Crow, voiced by Vic Mignogna, call Ruby a pipsqueak and winking. Enough said. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much for putting up with this really long rant video. Between this video and the first 5 episodes of Rwby Win, I think I've touched on everything that I wanted to cover. I will be uploading my reaction to the character short either today or sometime in the next couple days. I will react to the opening when they release it, and then October 22nd, we are off to the races with Rwby Volume 4. My reactions might be delayed by a week, just with the amount of time that I have, but I will be releasing those as I am able. And if you've been waiting patiently for AMVs, don't you fear, I've got a few requests and a couple cracks on the way, so stay tuned for that. So, until next time, this is Trombone King 87, signing off.